Hey there, so I guess this is the Halloween video. Now I know you're probably tired of all that Halloween or spooky game cliches, so I'll try to keep those at a minimum or non-existent in this review at all. Except for that red filter that just happened. We can let that slide. No games will come to life, and my friends won't dress up in Halloween costumes and attempt to kill me. At least I hope not. But anyway, it's Halloween, the night when monsters and demons roam the earth, spiders have a 90% higher chance of crawling into your mouth, when people like to make up statistics, and when YouTubers make extravagant Halloween specials. Now, if I were writing cliches into this video, this is probably the time when I'd say that it's my favorite time of the year, but I won't, because you know that. It's everyone's favorite time of the year. Except for Tim. God damn it, Tim. Now the game I'm going to talk about today isn't even necessarily scary, or Halloween related. I mean, I'm sure it was intended to be at some point scary, but it hilariously fails in that regard. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, Hellboy, Asylum Seeker. Now, Hellboy is a pretty cool IP. He has personality, character, and feelings. All of which this monstrosity is lacking. So the guys over at Cryo Studios thought it'd obviously be a great idea to make a vidya game about him. Now, to put the game in a little context, I rewatched the movie for the first time in years, and you know, it was alright. I should note that it did kind of feel like it was trying too hard to be dramatic at times, but overall it was a pretty good movie. But before you ask, what second movie? The game opens with a cutscene and wow, just wow. Look at this guy. No. Alright, so according to Clayface over here, there are some kind of creatures called the Dogs of the Night in the darkest corner of the universe waiting for someone to release them. Only makes sense. Actually, this ties into the PC version of the game's name, Hellboy Dogs of the Night. Yeah, the game had a different name on PC. But speaking of titles, what even is an Asylum Seeker? That has to be the most literal game title I've ever heard. Alright, let's take a look at the motley crew we got here. We have Freddy Krueger, aka Captain Exposition on the bed, Generic 1, Generic 2, and my personal favorite, Stony McColdface. Just look at him. Why is his hand shaded while his face is a shadowless mess? This game came out in 2000. You know what came out in 99? Silent Hill. And its cutscenes looked fantastic compared to this. Yeah, they're pre-rendered, but that's no excuse. There could have been so much more effort put in on the modeling. Metal Gear Solid came out in 98, and even its simplistic graphics would have looked better than this. The big problem here is the combination of trying to make some people look super realistic and others really simplistic. You can't do that, because what you get is Freddy Krueger and Stony McColdface in the same room. The result is jarring. Like seriously, this old guy looks better than fucking Hellboy. So I did some research, and it turns out that this game was in development for 4 years. Now that's a long ass time, especially with 3D graphics. Supplemented by a budget of what I only assume was $100, they then put themselves in their own proverbial bubble of isolation, covering their eyes and ears to the rest of the industry like some sort of in-denial Helen Keller game designer. Then, 4 years after production started, they released The Beast among games with much better graphics and gameplay. Not only that, but they released to not only an already niche market of gamers, but to an even smaller market of gamers who had heard of Hellboy, which at the time in 2000 was really small. The Hellboy comic was still pretty obscure at the time. Alright, but that still doesn't explain why these people are even listening to this crazy old dude. Who are they? And why should I give a shit? This entire scene is nothing but a campfire ghost story, and I'm not scared by those. Because I'm not 10. But most importantly, why the fuck does this gas tank look like Nunu from Teletubbies? Aw, check it out, our boy Stoney's going to look for clues, I guess? The hell is he doing? Care to fill us in, buddy?
I must tell Mitri. He needs to know.
Well, alright then. So guys, I think we're loading. Oh my god, this voice acting. It's simply wonderful.
It's been 72 hours since Peter disappeared.
I just hope we can find him in one piece.
So why is Hellboy so goddamn disproportionate? What, did he miss both arms and legs day or something? And why is he wearing no shirt? Where's his signature coat? Like, you know, the brown trench coat he's known to wear? Riddle me this, Cryo Studios. Why, in the name of everything that makes remote sense, does Hellboy punch with his tiny arm? Why doesn't he just go gung-fucking-ho with that monstrosity of an appendage?
Huh? This looks like Peter's lighter.
Oh, okay, so Stoney was actually named Peter. Well, honestly, I'm a little disappointed now. So apparently to progress, you have to do shit while in these weird little tombs. My question is, why the hell is there no audio whatsoever while in them? Was this game just not finished, or did these guys just legitimately not care about having any kind of atmospheric environments in their game? Because you don't do that. Oh, well, I guess I'll have to retract my previous statement. The music in this portion of the game is extremely creepy, which really adds to this crypt's atmosphere. But, you know, it really loses a bit of its impact after looping for the 5th time. Because this piece loops through about 30 minutes of gameplay. And I really wanted to give this game props for something. Alright, so the soundtrack blows. What about the enemies? So a little bit into the game, you meet these
spooky, scary skeletons.
And they're pathetic. Oh yeah, and when you go into combat, for some reason the camera thinks Hellboy's just the most goddamn interesting thing on the planet, because it auto-locks behind him. I'm not even kidding, it doesn't allow you any room to see behind you. Unless you're looking straight at them or the models are cutting into the camera's view, you have no way of knowing how far from the enemy you are at any given point. Now, the skeletons take forever to beat. For the most part, they're just pushovers. As for other minor enemies, they're, well, a mixed bag. You got the
spooky, scary skeletons,
these gross zombies in the crypt, this thing, these asylum workers, and this nurse.
And who might you be?
Name's Hellboy. Bureau for Paranormal Research and Defense.
Mr. Hellboy, you obviously need to be medicated.
What a wreck! This crazy nurse thinks you're a mental patient and attempts to sedate you by use of her electroshock stick. That's what those are called, apparently. Professionalism. So Hellboy, of course, is the only logical thing in this situation, throwing her out the window.
you let me down.
You know, good guy stuff. The bosses in this game are just ridiculous. First you fight an oversized hawk who feels difficult until you realize you can just hold down the punch button to defeat him. And same goes for the other bosses. Check this out. A dog of the night finally reveals itself. And I won't lie, I actually think it looks pretty cool. Unfortunately, the fight is somewhat less than epic. This is a joke! How am I supposed to feel challenged when I can just hold down a single button and it doesn't even have a chance to attack? There's also this part where you come across a cross. If you try to interact with it, you'll just turn it upside down. Yeah, I get it. Haha. He's Hellboy. But then, what? Oh, you know, it's one of those fantastic cave elevators. Come visit the deadly crypt. We have spiders, snakes, pitfalls, and an elevator. Death Crypt Resort. Come for the challenge, stay because you can't fucking figure this shit out. But then it takes you up to a church. So I guess it's a Jesus elevator now. Cool. you meet this lovely person, and then this happens.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
I didn't really have anything to say about it, just kind of wanted to show that. The controls in this game are a disaster. You can rotate around like some sort of red human Ferris wheel, and then forward moves you forward. No matter what. You're basically just a tank. It's really hard to maneuver, especially in tight corners like the tombs. Trying to get out can be a nightmare. The controls aren't always awful. I mean, sometimes just running around can be enjoyable enough, I guess. As for the buttons, X is your action button. You can interact with the world with that. Circle uses the item on the left here next to your fist. Triangle pulls out and holsters your gun, and square punches. And L2 and R2 are used to switch between weapons. I guess now would be as good a time as any to describe the gameplay. So basically the way you progress through this game is solving a small puzzle in a new area, but that's puzzle with 2 giant quotation marks because the only one that was a real puzzle was this rock puzzle. You had to make the 4 pillars be at the exact same height using the rocks as weights to push them down. It's pretty lame. Another one that pissed me off was this one. You have to punch these 2 pillars, but punch the other one right after the first while the rubble's falling. It's impossible. After that, you have another frustratingly difficult part in the shape of this column puzzle. All you have to do is push them into place so that you can use them to climb up to the roof. Except that it's aneurysm-inducing. Literally, look at this. Every time you try to push a column, the camera goes into this weird isometric view. How could this happen? Who does that? Okay, so seriously, it's the most awful thing ever. It takes like a full 3 seconds for each push. Compare that to something like Ocarina of Time, where that shit took 10 full seconds to get across the room. What made it worse is that I didn't realize the smallest column needed to stay in place, and I had done all that pushing for nothing to get the 3 larger ones in place. So I had to restart it all by exiting and entering again. Now, alright, I just need to get the largest piece in place. Oh, God, almost there. So that was a game. Not too many people played it. Now I'm just upset. That fucking glitch, dude. Hey, thanks for watching my video. I know I sound kinda drowsy, but I think that's kinda warranted, seeing as how it's 1:06 a.m. on Halloween. I just edited this video for probably a good 6 or 7 hours straight. I mean, I obviously took small breaks, but dude, that was intense. I am so happy that I got all that done in time for Halloween. I started editing very late. Halfway through this week, so that was insane. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about that and just say thank you so much for watching. Another video out. I can't. It's so cool getting to do this. I'm just rambling. I need to stop. I'm not gonna edit this, but Jesus Christ. Anyway, I have a couple videos of mine, previous videos, up here for you to check out. I strongly recommend that as they're very good as well. If you are already subscribed, thank you very much. Thank you so much. You're awesome. If you're not, you should do that, because, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm alright. You might not. I don't know, man. And then the big ol', buttons there, because reasons. Raisins. So yeah, you guys should, go do something. Thanks for watching, again. Alright, bye.